I'll
book yourself a cross country with a student and go.
Novak, maybe. We'll work on instrument
There
at
you
that
go.
point.
That's a good
You'll
idea.
get your private pilot check right done and then go straight on the
Yeah,
instrument.
by then he should have his ticket unless he's like Jack O'Brien and decides he wants to take 10 check rides.
It has bad weather, bad mag, instructor's late.
A lot of things went wrong.
There was a few things.
Hey, I want to say hello to E.T. E.T.'s our chief engineer this morning. He's the A-team in the radio station, see? And so we're very fortunate to have E.T. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jacko. And no, don't say all of that, man. It's a pleasure and honor to produce and engineer for the High Flying Show with Jack O'Brien and his squad.
Hey, E.T., phone home.
I haven't heard that one before.
Say, E.T., I did notice when you walked in the room that you had been here before. You were hopping around and know where to go and what to do.
I know my way around here.
I can figure that out.
He got the switches down.
E.T. takes great pride in his appearance, and you can tell when he walked in the room, he's dressed immaculately, and it never changes. He is always dressed he must have read that book, How to Dress for Success.
Well, he's a class act.
He has definitely done that.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, good to have you here.
You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good.
Ooh,
wow.
Man, he's on it.
Learn that flop shot, baby. We're gonna.
I'm working on that.
At the Guggen, we're going to be working on that. There's a lot that goes on here at Planet Earth, but this show is dedicated to what happens above ground. And the High Flying Show is about general aviation. And if you don't mind, E.T., if you could start that Eminence Front music for me as a little background, I want to touch on a couple of subjects that are happening right now in the world of aviation, starting with United Airlines. United Airlines is cracking down, Gar, on loud and potentially bothersome electronics in the cabin.
Oh.
Now, just recently, American Airlines had a bad problem with, and it happens frequently, but this one particular person was causing a lot of grief. She was not using headsets. She was using her little portable radio, right?
Yeah, and blasting around to everybody sitting around you, and that's totally
terribly annoying.
terrible on an airplane.
And United is now saying that they've updated their policy to require passengers to use headphones, and I think that's a good policy.
Absolutely, no question about it.
All right. Also, flight attendants have stated that you should always bring your own snacks on a plane. You know why? Well, at that altitude, when you're flying at 35,000 feet, apparently your taste buds are affected by the pressure in the cabin. Are you aware of this?
Oh, gosh. Take a flight attendant to figure that one out.
I don't know about that.
After 25,000 hours in the air, believe me, I've never had that happen.
I can eat on the ground, and I can eat at 30,000 feet.
That's exactly right. I had no trouble consuming a meal at 37,000 feet.
Well, they
It
say
still tastes good.
airplane meals contain about 20% more salt and sugar to compensate for reduced taste
I can tell
sensitivity.
you this. If you have a beverage at 30,000 feet, it will go to your head quickly.
Well, it's got a lot of fizz because it opens up and goes from sea level to basically 8,000 feet of cabin altitude.
8 or 10,000 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And you don't shake it up at all before you open it. You got to be very deft before you open your cans.
Sounds like you got some cabin experience.
Yes, plenty.
Well, it is. I think it's a fact that dry cabin air, low humidity, and air pressure all combined dulls your sense of taste and smell. So, but my son Cameron researched this for me once. The center of gravity, Cameron, and he tells me that hey, it's true. I don't know. You say no, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Fire away.
I don't see how it affects anything. But
what's the question?
The question is, how does your taste buds know that it has more salt or less salt or more sugar at 35,000 feet rather than being 0?
Oh.
Okay, it doesn't make sense. And how about the people who live in Denver? The altitude out there is 5,000 feet, and cabin altitude is sometimes 5,000 feet, or if you're about 31,000 or so. So, are the people in Denver? Are they right now complaining about not having good enough taste buds with altitude? You ever heard that one?
No, but I tell you another thing I've heard is that this thing about jet lag. is inaccurate in that there's no such thing as jet lag, and that the jet lag is basically because you're up 35,000 feet. The cabin is pressurized at 8,000, something like that, right?
That's exactly right.
So, and you're up there for 5 or 6 hours. So you're now you're lacking enough oxygen over that period of time to affect the way you feel physically. By the time you get on the ground, you're dragging, and it lasts for about 4 or 5 hours. And finally, the oxygen comes back into play, and you're right back to normal. Does that make any sense to you, Gard?
No. Not at all.
Didn't think
Doesn't
so.
make sense. You're breathing oxygen. Another example, same thing. We're sitting here at sea level, and the person in Denver, Colorado is at 5,000 feet. Now, does he have any byproduct problems coming from Denver down to here? Does he have jet lag because he lost 5,000 feet of breathing altitude? Oxygen is oxygen. It doesn't make any difference if it's.
That's why I carry a can of it. I need a little hit.
Yeah, a little hit of oxygen.
Just good.
Yeah.
It's been said that if you have a nasty hangover, just go to your dentist and get a shot of oxygen.
I just go to the cockpit, turn it on.
It works. It suck it up.
Yeah, for years, fighter pilots always went to 100%, and they jumped in the airplane after a big night at the old club. So, and that turned out to be bogus, too. Bogus is the word, guys.
Bogus. Thought it was BOGO down at Publix.
All right. When we return on the High Flyin' Show, we're going to talk about that KC-135 thing out in Iran. Those 2 planes, that fuel tanker that inadvertently, accidentally crashed into another plane there. And there was a 1,300-pound NASA satellite that crashed back to Earth. That happened over the eastern Pacific Ocean just a few days ago. And Spirit Airlines recalled around 500 furloughed pilots. If you're going to be in the neighborhood of the ballpark next weekend, the Jumbo Shrimp open their season next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Rochester Red Wings. Friday, a big street carnival happening before the game. Saturday, a free championship ring replica. You remember the Shrimp won the international championship of AAA baseball in Las Vegas last year. And on Sunday, well, you just bring the family out. The kids can run the bases. It's family fun day at the ballpark. All happening on Jumbo Shrimp opening weekend next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're looking for a new automobile, there's no better one than a Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer for an enjoyable buying experience. This is the High Flying Radio Hour with Joel Wiener, Hunter Bradley, and Garfield Benson. I'm Jack O'Brien. We'll be right back.
I believe it's time for me to fly. Time for me to fly. Time for me to fly. It's time for me to fly.
If you think it's great to be you can get more Gators anytime on the Gator Podcast channel.
Go Gators!
Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hey, High Flying fans, did you know that Angie Subs has been a staple in the Jacksonville community for almost 40 years? You know why? Because Angie's loves the people of Jacksonville, and the people of Jacksonville love us back. Everybody loves a Peruvian, but the next time you come in, I want you to try something different. The Dr. Bang. Dr. Bang is an Italian sub with ham and capicola, provolone cheese, and mayonnaise baked in the oven. Then we top it with our world-famous chicken salad. We sell a stupid amount of chicken salad. Angie Subs, near the intersection of Beach Boulevard and Penman. Lunch and dinner. Where all the cars are.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
When pilots need airplane parts or aviation manuals, Aircraft General Supply has it. For over 20 years, Ronnie Leto and his staff have been taking care of our local pilots. Minutes from Craig Airport on St. John's Bluff, just south of Atlantic Boulevard, Aircraft General Supply's new welcome dog, Stormy, will wag his tail and show you around. Aircraft General Supply. Batteries, tires, oil filters, and brakes, pilot supplies, and test preps. Get what you need at Aircraft General Supply.
High Flyin' with Jack O'Brien and the Wiener.
What Major League Baseball player was once walked intentionally with the bases loaded?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Barry Bonds, who has the most career walks, was once walked intentionally with the bases loaded. Better one-run scoring than a whole lot more.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Hey there, ET here with 1010XL. And here's a little how to be cool secret. No need to wait for an anniversary or a birthday. I just simply dial up Kuhn Flowers and send someone something special for absolutely no reason. It's really fun, and I can do it online at kuhnflowers.com.
With over 3,000 parking spaces daily, USAPark.net is the easier way to park when flying out of JIA. Hi, Flyin Jacko here, reminding you to log on to USAPark.net for first-time user discounts. USAPark.net.
One of the best-kept secrets in the area is a place called Victor's Payless. Chris Griffith with 1010XL here. I heard about Victor's Payless on the High Flying Show, and what a place it is. I needed furniture and a lot of it after our move to our new home. Victor purchases goods through government auctions and seizures, unclaimed freight, and overstocks that include furniture, mattresses, appliances, you name it, plus many grocery supplies too. It's absolutely insane how much money I save. Take it from someone who's been there. Victor's Payless, over on San Juan Avenue, just off Lane.
The High Flyin Show has continued to partner with Ascent Aviation as its official flight school sponsor. If you've always wanted to learn how to fly, take a discovery flight at Ascent Aviation today, now in Fernandina and also at Furlong Field. You'll be high flying.
Are we back? Yes. Hey, E.T., thanks. We are back on the High Flying Show. A couple of notes you heard in that commercial break. Angie's Subs. I went there yesterday for lunch before I went to bang some balls at the driving range, and I could not get in. It was so busy. And Ed's commercial is exactly right.
Spring break, buddy.
He says, you know how you find Angie's Subs?
That's where all the cars are.
Look where all the cars are. Unbelievable crowd at a sub sandwich shop. Angie's Subs.
He's doing well.
Oh, man. And he's got that new place in Atlantic Beach that's cranking. At the end of Atlantic Beach, Atlantic Boulevard, there near the end of that road. And, of course, at the airport, you can get an Angie Sub in Concourse A before you board that plane and annoy everyone with the beautiful Peruvian sub sandwich you're about to eat. Yes, sirree. So thanks to Ed Malin and Angie Subs, and also a quick thanks to Kuhn Flowers for over 75 years. Marty McCall and Michelle Morgan, who are the chief proprietors at Kuhn Flowers, have been sponsoring the High Flying Show for quite some time now, and we appreciate their support. They are the epitome of floral and design in this market, no doubt. Hey, 6 U.S. service members were unfortunately killed when their KC-135 refueling tanker aircraft crashed following a mid-air collision over western Iraq. It was Iraq or Iran?
Iraq,
you're right. U.S. Central Command confirmed this a couple of days ago. That news comes as the war in Iran, of course, is now in its 3rd week. You said you had other information on this?
Well, just some flying information about it. They took off at different times from Ben Gurion Airport in Israel.
Yeah.
And they went to a tanker track. Now, a tanker track is set up in a specific area, and they do big roundabouts. They just go around in a circle.
It's a big racetrack in the sky.
Big racetrack in the sky. And everything is predicated on altitude and airspeed.
Yeah.
So the reason it has to be altitude, of course, you don't want 2 airplanes at the same altitude if you're in that holding pattern. Well, what had happened was, obviously, from my standpoint, and I don't know if this will be on the final accident report or not, but the aircraft that was lost was the one that hit the front airplane and the stabilizer, the rear stabilizer. Well, I kind of think that when they hit, they took the whole brunt of that vertical stabilizer in the cockpit, in the front of the airplane.
Ouch.
And that took off the stabilizer and also totally disabled the aircraft from functioning. Now, here's a few other things. When you go into a refueling pattern, you're assigned an altitude. Now, how this happened, who knows? And also you're assigned a speed. And the refueling altitudes are between 15 and 25. depending on the aircraft that you're refueling, that sort of thing.
What's the speed roughly?
Well, they're roughly about 235, 240
okay.
in that area. And also, they have to be in a pretty stable place to do it. But now these guys are so good at this; they can refuel at night on that with those aircraft.
Uncanny.
It is uncanny.
Yeah.
But the thing about that fueling aircraft is hard to believe is it carries 20,000 pounds of gas to give away to whoever needs gas.
Right.
20,000 pounds. That's quite a bit of gas. And these aircraft, two that one crashed and the other one hit it. They were KC-135Rs with the big bypass engines on them, high performance, good on fuel flow. So, I mean, these are good airplanes. Another thing, too, there's only 15 refueling airplanes that can refuel each other. In other words, these KC-135s only refuel other airplanes, but not other KC-135s, except the Air Force has 15 of them that they can refuel.
So they land and refuel on ground then, and
yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's nobody refueling the 135 in the air, is what you're saying?
No.
Right.
So another thing, too, they can be up there for 10, 12 hours. Now, my feeling is this: with the people who had the aircraft had 6 people on it, they lost. There were 2 complete crews, two pilots, 2 co-pilots, and 2 boom operators.
Yeah.
So they were up there going to be up there for a long time. I don't know what the Air Force rules are, but if you're airborne more than 8 hours, you need relief, or I don't know exactly how long it is.
Right.
But that was just the whole thing, and they didn't have a chance. There's no parachutes on those airplanes at all. They took them out in 1968 or something like that because there's no reason. The other problem is to try to bail out of a KC-135 is really tough because there's no ejection seats on a 135. No. So the bailout is really dicey. And if you go out the front hatch, you're going right in a number 2 engine. So it's pretty remote that you could bail out. So they don't have any parachutes on the airplane either. So that's the story.
It was deemed a total accident. It was not friendly fire or hostile fire or anything like that.
Not at all.
And it's very unfortunate. Anytime we lose any member of the military in any way, shape, or form, is a tragedy, and it's just a bad scene. And where the High Flying Show hates to do stories like this, quite honestly, because it's not what we're all about, but it is big news. It's topical, and so we had to bring it up. Thanks, Gar, for that information. There was a 1,300-pound NASA satellite that came back to us. This is not the meteor that came in. This was a satellite that crashed over the eastern Pacific Ocean on March the 11th. This was the Van Allen probe. The Van Allen probe studies radiation belts around Earth. Didn't know we had that up there, did you?
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines recalling 500 furloughed pilots. They were furloughed between September of 2024 and November of last year, and they're getting their way out of Chapter 11, trying to work their way out of bankruptcy, and now these guys are back. Spirit Airlines doesn't really have a very good reputation.
No, they don't. And I'm kind of surprised they're bringing it back so quickly after being just a year separating the last furloughee and bringing it back. A year's pretty fast to put things back together, man. But here's my conspiracy theory.
Yeah? What? Oh, no.
I think that Spirit is going to be big in Cuba, and when Cuba opens up here, Spirit wants to be ready to put some airplanes down there and give commercial air to Cuba.
Good grief!
And who knows if that's right? But it sounds good. Okay.
The waitress, the bartender at Jack's Beach served me a beer yesterday. She told the guy next to me the story about Spirit Airlines. I had one ear kind of tuned into it, and I didn't tell her that they were bringing back all these pilots, but Spirit apparently is getting bad raps everywhere you go. Cuba now is going to have to deal with it, huh?
Who knows? But, that's being very innovative. Think that way. Let's bring some pilots back. We got the airplanes. As soon as Cuba opens up, we'll be servicing it.
12 years ago when the High Flying Show first started, the big story was the MH370 that disappeared over the Indian Ocean. And for 12 years, they've been looking for it. Well, they were doing a renewed deep-sea search for the wreckage. This was a Malaysia Airlines flight. But they had no joy, as you say in the aviation world, no joy. They have given up their effort to try to find it. I mean, at this point, why even do this?
Well, there's no reason to, simply because there isn't any skin on the bones.
No.
And things are in the airplane may be intact, but getting it out of that ocean is so big in that southeast portion or southwest portion of the Pacific. It's huge, and it's also very deep. And they couldn't have done anything about it.
Even if they found a fragment, there's nothing there anymore,
No.
right?
And now, here's the thing. One thing that we got to point out, though, is that all the naysayers have come up with the fact that it's probably the captain that went ahead and depressurized the airplane, put everybody to sleep, and took the airplane and flew it out.
Is this a conspiracy theory?
This is a major conspiracy theory. And this is not Mickey Mouse high flying conspiracy. This is big people talk.
Well,
conspiracy.
this was the captain that flew the same route, correct?
Yeah.
In his sim, they went through and they found his sim logs. And was practicing at home.
That's exactly right. He had a sim home. You're exactly right, Hunter.
Oh,
so there are some supporting information. So I just thought I'd throw that out, Jack. You like stuff like that.
Yeah, I do. Hey, we had a couple of questions listeners wrote into the High Flying Show over the last month. Joel, I'd like you to address this. This is a guy that's taking his flight training very seriously. And he says, as a private pilot, when I get to be one, what class medical do you really need?
As a private pilot, a third-class medical works just fine.
What does that mean?
Third-class medical is there's less testing, and it lasts longer. It's a 5-year medical.
Is this the basic med?
Basic med's a whole different animal.
Okay.
Now, if you're looking to move further into your career and get your instrument in commercial, you need a second-class medical to do commercial privileges.
Okay. So that's a more in-depth type of
right. And
exam. They're going to look at.
And then the first-class medical is when they throw you on the EKG machine and make sure your ticker's going to work.
Well, back when my medical, Dr. Holthouse did mine. Remember him? And I thought he asked me for my driving record.
Yep.
They
gotta
do
make
that.
sure. Yeah. Your boating record, driving record. Make sure you're not a little loony upstairs. I'm surprised you made it
Well, I
through.
really am too. That's what I mean. They gave me I can't believe they gave me a license. Another question. High flying, this guy asked, he's asking me, of course I have. What do I know? Have you ever flown with a dog or dogs on board?
All right. So I have a customer now that wants to bring a new dog on to make sure that the dog will do well on big trips.
Right.
I've taken many dogs. My lab loved fly.
Yeah.
And then as she got older, she got a little antsy because she couldn't see out. So we'd give her a Benadryl, and then it went fine. Cats, not so much. Cats need to go in a cage.
You don't let a cat out of the airplane.
No, because it will go round and round and round.
Is this personal experience?
Yes. Yeah.
We had a feral cat at the radio station a few years back, the old building, E.T. I don't know if you knew this, but this was Michelle decided that she was going to feed the cat.
Uh-oh.
So she puts out some food bowls, right? And there's this particular neighborhood on Hogan Road was where these cats were hanging out. And so finally, and at the back of the building, Steve had leased the back of the building to somebody else, and it may have been the first place it was the first place on Hogan Road, and so we had a different radio station in the back, and there were some Hispanic ladies that loved these cats, and they took over the job of feeding the cat, and so finally one day they decided they were going to trap a feral cat, and they put one of these gopher traps out, or whatever the heck you use to catch varmints like raccoons and stuff, and they catch the cat. Now she wants to take the cat home, so she puts the cat that's in the cage in her van, and then closes the sliding door to the van, and the children are in the van, and they let the cat out of the cage. That was a terrible situation.
Hey, I've got a good one for you. When I back in the old days flying 727, a buddy of mine was walking around the airplane doing his walk around, and he comes by the baggage compartment out there, and there's baggage smashers back there. I've got this crate open, and they're petting this tiger, and it's just a little baby tiger.
Yeah.
That we were here somewhere. So anyway, he says, "Oh gosh, the flight attendants would really like that." So Tom takes the tiger in his arms and goes up the aft stairs into the airplane and walks up front. And all the girls are oohing and cooing about the tiger, and he's petting it. Says one of them says, "Let me hold it," and so Tom passes the tiger over to the flight attendant, and the tiger must have got some claws into the girl because she jumped like that, tossed the tiger. The flight was delayed. They couldn't catch that damn tiger on that airplane. It was running all over, underneath the seats, over the top of the seats and everything. They had a heck of a time catching that tiger.
Oh, man. All right, it's 9:30. This is the High Flying Show. Thanks to your First Coast Honda dealers for our title sponsorship, and also thanks to all of our other sponsors, including Hardball Creative. Hardball does all the specialty advertising work for the radio station and for many other people. If you need any logoed items done, Hardball does do it all. And, of course, Victor's Payless. Now, Victor's Payless is on the west side of town. I talked to Victor this week. Business is booming, and he loves the High Flying Show. If you need anything in the world of furniture or groceries, believe it or not, you can get both at Victor's Payless.
And everything in between,
And
right?
everything in between. All right, when we come back, humans will orbit the moon again. Next month, probably, for the first time in over 50 years. As Artemis 2 gets set to blast off from Cape Kennedy, and we'll talk a little bit about that moon initiative. And also, Novak is here with Ascent Aviation's Hunter Bradley, who is a CFII and a former long snapper for the Packers. And we'll talk to both of them this morning as well. This is the High Flying Radio Hour. We'll return after these words.
From free agency to the draft, training camp to the playoffs, nobody covers the Jags like Jaguars today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring the smartest football talk in Duval. Covered by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Interested in an aviation career? The pilot shortage is real, and Ascent Aviation can get you started with an affordable discovery flight. For an appointment to get you in the air, log on to ascentaviation.com, now in Fernandina and also at Furlong Field on Jacksonville's west side.
Hey, High Flying fans, Eddie the Moocher here from Angie Subs. You ever driven by Angie Subs and wonder why there's so many cars in the parking lot? Yeah? Well, let me tell you why. It's because our oven-baked subs are so dang delicious. Our Peruvian sub, you've heard of it. We sell over 200 of those jokers every day. Pro tip, order it on onion roll and ask for it crunchy. And our fries, Jeff Floggeman says they're the best, and he's had fries in 47 states. It's true. He keeps a journal. Angie Subs, near the intersection of Beach Boulevard and Penman, lunch and dinner, where all the cars are.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. High Flying with Jack O'Brien.
When pilots need airplane parts or aviation manuals, Aircraft General Supply has it. For batteries, tires, oil filters, and brakes, pilot supplies, and test preps, get what you need at Aircraft General Supply. And while you're there, say hey to Ronnie and his welcome dog, Stormy. They've even got a general store for all kinds of aviation gifts, perfect for the upcoming holidays. Aircraft General Supply, St. John's Bluff, just south of Atlantic Boulevard.
When you drive past a Kuhn Flowers location, did you know their inside showroom is filled with gift items? Kuhn Flowers isn't just for sending flowers. Frank Frangie here, and when I need a unique gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers, Beach Boulevard, and in Ponte Vedra since 1947. Kuhn Flowers.
We'll return to the High Flyin' Show after these words.
When you need to catch a flight out of JIA, park your car at USA Park Airport Parking. Download a discount coupon at usapark.net. They'll take you right to your gate with zero hassle. usapark.net.
Chris Griffith with 1010XL here, and when I heard about Victor's Payless on the High Flying Show, I didn't believe it until I finally went to see what they've been talking all about. All items in Victor's are brand new, never used. Victor purchases goods through government auctions and seizures, unclaimed freight, and overstocks. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, you name it, plus many grocery supplies too. It's crazy how much money you'll save. Take it from someone who's been there. Victor's Payless, 6612 San Juan Avenue, just off Lane.
And we are back on the High Flying Radio Show. I'm Jack O'Brien with Garfield Benson, Hunter Bradley, and the Wiener, Joel Wiener.
The Flying Wiener is in the studio.
Does everybody call you Wiener?
They do.
Yeah, do. Yeah.
The Flying Wiener. That's my company name too. Flying Wiener.
That's right. That's right. And what Beach Banners? That's called Flying Wiener?
Well, Beach Banners does the banner towing. The Flying Wieners does the aviation management, airplane management. Airplanes that I manage for other companies.
And you're still big in the safety world as well. Don't you do a lot of seminars?
We do safety seminars. We're working on one in April after Sun and Fun.
Yeah.
We're going to do a safety seminar. The Craig Tower's going to come in. We're going to do it at Sterling. I don't have the dates and times, and that'll all come out. Keep an eye on the Craig Airport Facebook page.
I'd like to attend that. Please let me know about that. All right. And Hunter Bradley's here with us this morning with Ascent Aviation. Good morning to you again, Hunter. And welcome aboard. Good to see you. John Nafak's seat. You're warming that seat up very well. You weigh a little bit more than Nafak, so the seat will be compressed a little bit more for what it's worth. But you've been doing some CFII work now for how long?
Yeah, so I've been CFII for a little over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
So just trying to stay busy.
Where did you start flying?
So I started down in at Stewart Airport down in South Florida. So that's where I did the bulk of my training, then finished up here at Craig.
Yeah.
And then now I'm over here at Erlong instructing at Ascent.
So how many instructors do we have at Ascent Aviation?
We've got about 6 full-time. So we've been pretty busy. The weather's finally starting to act up for us. So we're starting to really hit the skies, pretty frequently.
Folks, if you're interested in learning how to fly, and I think I can make a good suggestion here, especially this time of year, because it is good weather. And if you're looking up in the sky and you go, man, I really would like to learn, or at least do that. Guys like Hunter Bradley can take you up. CFIIs can handle any form of flight training. And excuse me. And in particular, if you're not really sure, and I think that's one of the big things. People come out and they go, I'm gung-ho. I want to learn how to fly. I want to get my pilot's license. And after 1 or 2 flights, they go, I'm not really into it as much as I thought I'd be. That happens, yes.
Yep. Yeah. So I definitely recommend people book a discovery flight. You see the people that buy all the equipment, the headsets, the iPads,
that
everything.
Was me.
They do 2 lessons and then they don't love it anymore. Well, now you've just dumped in a big investment. So do a discovery flight, get up with me for an hour. I'll let you fly the plane, teach you, a little bit. I won't overwhelm you, and see if it's something that you want to do.
Would you think that it even might be advisable to book 2 discovery flights?
Well, you start getting into a little bit of you're only allowed to do 1. So it's mostly with the TSA. You can't do. You can, but I would definitely recommend
at least
1 hour flight. You can do it at 30-minute with us. I would recommend an hour.
No
you
doubt.
Get more for your money.
No doubt. For starters, you got to do the pre-flight. You have to go through that.
I only sell 1 package. It's about an hour and a half, an hour flight.
Yeah.
20 or 30 minutes pre-flight, get in the airplane, 20, 30 minutes, go over the logbook, take pictures.
Agree.
Yeah.
But you gotta know if you want to do it. And that's really one of the big thing to me is that a lot of people who tell me they want to learn how to fly, what does that mean? Do you want to learn how to fly? Do you want to just solo? Do you want to get your ticket? And after you get your ticket, your private pilot, what's after that? And you should look after that because, like me, there was nothing after that other than the radio show, which we decided to do instead of me flying airplanes. I'm much safer in this studio than I am in an airplane. and that's sometimes a pilot has to know. A licensed pilot who's not very good at it, like me, has to know that, I ain't that good at it. So, and I'm not that into it, so, because you got to fly a lot. If you want to be a good pilot, Joel, I mean, come on, right? If you want to be a good pilot, you got to
fly every week.
Yeah.
Every other week minimum.
All right. So anyway, if you're interested, this is great weather, man. I mean, call Ascent Aviation. They're in Fernandina and at Hurlong Field. And they'll take good care of you.
And you may see me out in the Stearman today because it's a nice day. I might have to pull that out of the hangar.
A little
Fly
pleasure
by-
flying, huh?
Yeah, I might have to get the bi wing out today.
Fly by the condo, man. Give me the old wave. When Joe
I'll
comes
do it.
by, we say, give me the wave, and he waves the plane, and he honks the horn. Ooga, ooga. Hey, I'm no fan of spending trillions of dollars in the effort to go to Mars. You've heard me say that.
Are we going back to space?
Yeah, we're going to do a little space talk here. I promised a little moon talk, and I want to share this with you. I believe 99% of what's out there in space is nothing more than a rock in the sky. I think it's an incredulous waste of money to try to fly billions of miles to a rock in the sky. There isn't anything out there. Voyager 1 launched in 1976, as did Voyager 2. May have been 77. Voyager 1 has been flying in space for over 50 years and continues to send back data, believe it or not, that takes at least a full day to get here now because they're out a billion miles now. Still, we're able to get information back, and all they're sending us back is nothing.
And on top of that, the Voyager is still going away from Earth. And
right.
And just think, try to define infinity. That's infinity out there. How far does that go?
38,000 miles an hour it's going. Since 1977, 38,000 miles an hour.
Incredible.
It is, and they have not found one planet that has people on it.
Well, I remember Skylab. It came back and didn't make it.
That's right.
It landed in the Indian Ocean. Was that 78? Something in that neighborhood?
I don't remember the year, but I do know when the Voyagers left, late 70s.
Yeah.
Even
same time frame.
The Voyager 2 went 40 years before it didn't send back any more data.
It's amazing one still got power. They obviously solar power to power the darn thing, and I'm just absolutely surprised it's still getting power.
I agree. I don't get it.
Skylab was 1979 when it crashed.
Okay,
That one came back.
Where'd it crash at?
Indian Ocean.
Anyway, Artemis 2 is 2 years ago, 2022, 4 years, 2 years ago, 2024. Artemis 1 went up and did a flyby of the moon. It was a robotic, unmanned, unwomaned flight that went up 240,000 miles and came back. It was a successful initiative. Now, 50 years ago, we were able to go to the moon 7 times. 6 of them were successful. One of them, Apollo 13, did not make it, although they came back safely.
There's a good movie on that.
Yes, and they do Netflix has a new documentary on it, by the way. But in fact, we have already done this. 50 plus years ago. And now it's taking us so long to get this thing going. Well, according to what we're reading now, is that it's going to happen in a 10, 12-day period from now. April 1st is the first targeted launch date.
It's only a flyby, though.
It's a yes. It's an elliptical figure eight flyby. It's a 10-day mission. There are 4 astronauts. One of them is a female. One of them is a Canadian. And it won't land on the moon or anything like that. But it will test NASA's what they call their deep space systems. And speaking of deep space systems and dark matter systems and all that, in future high-flying shows, we're going to get into what's called the LSST, which is an amazing project that nobody knows about, but we'll get into that later. But you're right. It's going to do a flyby of the moon, and it will end with a high-speed re-entry and splash down in the Pacific Ocean. Now, no human has traveled this far from Earth in over half a century. That was Apollo 17 in December of 1972. And that was interesting, too, because the first moon flight was 1969.
Yep.
And they did 7 of them in 3 years. We can't do it's been 2 years since we flew by the moon.
Yeah.
We can't. China's already there. And this, by the way.
Hey, China hasn't put a man on the moon yet.
No, but they've got all kind of gadgets up there doing
got
stuff.
a lunar rover or something like that. But
it's a race. And I don't know why all of a sudden we're in a hurry to go to the moon, but we are. President Trump just signed legislation. Do you know about this?
Well, I heard you signed something to go to Mars.
No, this is a moon thing.
Okay.
To set up a moon structure, a human moon structure by the year 2030. And let me see if I can pull this up. On March the 4th, the U.S. Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation passed the NASA Authorization Act, calls for establishing a lunar surface moon base to develop a permanent crewed crewed United States presence on the moon, capable of long-duration habitation, robotic and industrial operations, technology, and other interests as well. A lot going on here in this race to the moon, and Trump signed that sweeping executive order ensuring American space superiority. The president wants us to start setting up a permanent moon base by the year 2030.
Yeah, and we can't even pay the TSA people.
I bet there'll be a Tesla running around up there.
Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Musk is going to beat everybody.
Meanwhile, China, by the way, their next moonshot, Chang'e 7, could search the lunar South Pole sometime this year. They're way ahead of us, by the way. Their next robotic moon mission scheduled to launch, helping set the stage for the nation's planned multi-phased lunar outpost. Unbelievable as that may
That's
sound.
the reason right there.
I also want to give a kudo to China. One other thing. This is a high-flying thing, and we'll go to our final spot break and then bring Novak in from talk to him about his initiative getting his license. The China Ping-Tang Bridge. I just read about this. It's a true, what they call a titan of modern engineering. It's shattering the records to become what they call a global icon of infrastructure, a colossal suspension bridge stretching nearly 2 miles across a jagged mountain landscape. It's 1,854 feet up. That's pretty high. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's high flying talk right there. You fall from that, it'll take you a minute to get there. But what used to take 2 hours to drive from one town to the other through the winding mountain pass now takes 2 minutes.
I saw a picture of that bridge. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's futuristic the way it looks.
It's something to behold how the stuff China's doing. They're
engineering
brainiacs. That's what they are. All right, this is the High Flying Show. Once again, thanks to our sponsors. High Flying sponsors the First Coast Honda dealers and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They've got a big opening weekend next weekend. Thanks to USA Park Airport Parking. If you're heading out of town and want to wait in a long TSA line, get there early by going to USA Airport Airport Parking. All right. Thanks to E.T., our chief engineer this morning, along with Hunter Bradley, Garfield Benson, and the Wiener. I'm High Flying Jack O'Brien. We'll be right back.
When someone excels in and out of the classroom, we should celebrate it.
That's why 1010XL brings you the Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Hey, High Flying fans, did you know that Angie Subs has been a staple in the Jacksonville community for almost 40 years? You know why? Because Angie's loves the people of Jacksonville, and the people of Jacksonville love us back. Everybody loves a Peruvian, but the next time you come in, I want you to try something different. The Dr. Bang. Dr. Bang is an Italian sub with ham and capicola, provolone cheese, and mayonnaise baked in the oven. Then we top it with our world-famous chicken salad. We sell a stupid amount of chicken salad. Angie Subs, near the intersection of Beach Boulevard and Penman. Lunch and dinner, where all the cars are.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
When pilots need airplane parts or aviation manuals, Aircraft General Supply has it. For over 20 years, Ronnie Leto and his staff have been taking care of our local pilots. Minutes from Craig Airport on St. John's Bluff, just south of Atlantic Boulevard, Aircraft General Supply's new welcome dog, Stormy, will wag his tail and show you around. Aircraft General Supply. Batteries, tires, oil filters and brakes, pilot supplies, and test preps. Get what you need at Aircraft General Supply.
This is the High Flyin' Show on 1010XL.
High Flyin' with Jack O'Brien.
What race car driver won 27 times in one season?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Richard Petty, the King, won 200 times in his career. including 27 times in 1967.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
For the ultimate and unique gift ideas, visit CuneFlowers.com. JJ LaSelva here, and no matter what the reason, Cune Flowers has it all. Sending flowers was never so easy. Online, on the phone, or in the showroom, Cune Flowers hits a grand slam home run every time.
Hate parking at the airport when you fly out of JIA? Hi, Flyin' Jacko here, telling you there's a better and faster way. USAPark.net. If you're running late, let them drop you at the gate. USAPark.net. They'll get you to the gate on time.
Chris Griffith with 1010XL here, and you wouldn't believe the deals they have every day at Victor's Payless. Brand new sofas, beds of all sizes, mattresses, desks, and more. It's honestly one of the coolest stores when you walk in the many doors. Victor buys all his goods from government auctions, seizures, and unclaimed storage containers, and it's all brand spanking new. Go by and see Victor for yourself at Victor's Payless, 6612 San Juan Avenue, just off Lane.
Learning how to fly can be really easy when you call the experts at Ascent Aviation. Take a discovery flight and find out if aviation is in your future. Ascent Aviation, Fernandina and Herlong Field, Jacksonville. You'll be high flying.
And this is the High Flying Show, brought to you by your First Coast Honda dealers, Jack O'Brien.
And the Wiener.
And the Wiener, my former instructor. The Wiener, big months coming up, man. You got the sun and fun in Lakeland, right?
Yep.
And then that's a good one, right?
Spring break for pilots.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
That's something you always attend, yes?
Yes, I'll go down for a day or two.
Yeah. And then, of course, Air Venture, the world's largest aviation convention.
That is the last week of July.
Right. Over 10,000 airplanes. 10,000 airplanes fly into that small airport in 1 week, in and out. And if crummy weather hits, that wreaks havoc.
It slows things down, puts people up in Appleton, down in Chicago, and then they'll drive in.
Yeah, but still, it would seem to me that would just wreak havoc with everything that's going on. Now, Bob Cam, one of our normal high-flying guys, former air traffic controller, he's not here this morning, but he's one of the ATC guys that works that event most of the time.
15 years he's been doing it.
And they have a special system, GAR and everyone, where they funnel planes into certain. How's that work, Joel?
They meet up about 20 miles outside of town and follow in the railroad tracks, get in a single line, different speeds. And then they come up to one of the intersections, and a tower controller tells them which runway to go to. You tell them where you're going to camp, and they send you in the right direction.
Is it the same window, or they have different windows? The planes are coming from the north and the west and the east and the south.
They all meet up at the outer marker on the railroad tracks.
And that's on the south of town, right?
Southwest of town, and then they follow the railroad tracks in a single file.
What's the speed?
Speed is 110 knots or 100 knots for little airplanes, 120 knots for the twins. Different altitudes.
We got a couple of minutes here. We got Novak here. Novak's going to be 18 years old in a few days. He's been taking flight training at Ascent Aviation. Ascent has two schools, Fernandina and Herlong. Hunter Bradley, who is a CFII certified flight instructor, is here this morning. Have you flown with Novak, Hunter?
I have yet to do it.
Yeah, because you've been flying with John Nafak mostly, right?
All Mr. John, yes.
Yeah. Well, perhaps maybe you and Hunter can go up here in the next week or two, as it's always, to my opinion, and I don't know a lot, but I know it helps to have a couple of different voices in your ear. Joel used to send me up with guys that never were even flown before. And so, it was really difficult for me to follow their advice. I'm kidding. He never did that. Now, Hunter, Ascent Aviation, what's the plan for a guy like Novak? He's about to take his final check ride in a few weeks. April what?
17th.
All right, so 3-4 weeks.
Yes.
What is the plan as a CFII, and you're the flight instructor of this particular pilot? How do you engineer this transition to this check ride coming up?
Yeah, so all my students, they can attest. That's when I do the Jekyll and Hyde. I turn into the not nice instructor, and I'm acting as the DPE. It's just going to be a lot of mock check rides.
What is a DPE?
Yeah, so that's basically who you're going to sit down with from
That's
the
the
FAA,
examiner,
and
yeah.
he's going to be the one that signs you off or tells you if you pass or not.
Right.
So We try and do that. We try and act like the DPE. We'll sit down, do a mock check ride on the ground portion. So I'm going to act like the DPE, ask you questions, test your knowledge, and then the same thing in the flight portion. So that way, when it's the day of your check ride, you're comfortable. You've done this before. It's, especially when you're doing your private, that's your first check ride. That's the hardest one because you don't know what to expect. After that, you kind of have the flow down. That's usually the week or two out is just practicing, just what the flow is going to be like and just, staying confident and calm.
Well, the oral exam is very, for some people, it's very stressful. It's a 2 or 3 hour exam mostly. The first 30 minutes is making sure your documentation's correct. So you got to be right there, Novak. How good do you feel, Novak? Are things pretty much under control here?
Feel confident. Of course, the nervousness is hitting, first check ride. I hope I do well, but I'm feeling confident.
Okay. And as far as your book learning, are you on top of that?
Yes.
That's critical.
Yes, definitely. Reading the BHAC, using all the sources. I like watching YouTube mock check rides. That's very helpful to me.
You don't get out of that oral exam, you don't get to fly.
Exactly.
So if you don't pass that, then that's all bets are off, and you got to do another oral exam. I had 3 of them. Now through no fault of my own, but in any event, I got pretty good at the oral exam. The flight part was a little rough, but in any event, I got through it. So April 17th, and what are your aspirations once you pass this test and get your ticket? What are you going to do next?
Go straight to instrument license. Maybe go up with my friends once or twice, bring my mom up. She's always like talking about when you get your license, I have to go up with you.
Yeah.
But after that, straight into instrument, then commercial. Keep going after then.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, Novak, he's only 17, ladies and gentlemen. He's got working 2 jobs, going to high school, going to get his private pilot license within weeks. We know you're going to do well and you're going to pass. And thanks for being with us this morning.
You'll do great. We'll see you next month with your license.
For sure. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the support.
Hunter Bradley, thanks for joining us this morning on the High Flying Show. And we look forward to seeing you again sometime when Mr. Nafak can't be here. We'd love to have you sit in.
Anytime. Let me know.
All right. As a matter of fact, you need to take Novak flying. Get that guy up with a different voice in his head.
Give him a stage check. Give him a good stage check for his check ride.
Sounds good.
All right, that'll wrap it. Are we ready with any background music there, AT? Can we get ready to go? Garfield Benson, thank you. The Wiener, thank you very much.
We'll see you next month.
Adios, muchachos. See you.
The hardest thing.
You've been listening to the High Flyin' Radio Show, presented by your First Coast Honda dealers. Special thanks to the Casa Marina Hotel and Restaurant, Ascent Aviation.